Jannik Sinner officially begins comeback bid. World number 1 and reigning Australian Open winner Jannik Sinner has at long last returned to the world he briefly left amid controversy. The Italian has returned to training with a laser focus on the Italian Open next month, following a 3-month suspension. This competition will not only mark his competitive return but also examine whether he continues to maintain the form that saw him claim his third Grand Slam title earlier this year. The 23-year-old's time away from the ATP Tour was not a vacation. Secluded to private lessons and solitary drills, Sinner was banned from official training and interaction with pro athletes. But as the clay season heats up, he's chosen to dive straight into the fire. He is focused on high-profile practice sessions and a demanding schedule that signals nothing less than a full-blown comeback. Jannik Sinner's return involves not only playing tennis once more. It is about restoring a season cut off as it began, public image, and rhythm. Although his sole competition this year ended with a trophy at the Australian Open, it was followed by a surprising setback. A positive doping test for Closteball was discovered from an ill-treated topical treatment given by his physiotherapist. Though there were heights of speculation regarding the consequences, it did not justify a career-damaging ban. Sinner has begun preparing with fresh determination now that his suspension will be officially finished on May 5. He has been perfecting his play next to trusted friends instead of waiting for the Rome crowd to see his first forehand in months. His recent coaching sessions with Jack Draper in Monte Carlo were just the start, setting the stage for what looks to be a carefully planned comeback. Jannik Sinner's selection of sparring partners speaks volumes beyond any media release. First was Draper, the famous British player who loudly supported the Italian tennis star in the early days of the suspension. Next up was Matteo Berrettini, Davis Cup partner, and maybe the only one who knows how to bear the expectations of a country's tennis under pressure. Withdrawn from Munich this week, Berrettini has been practicing with Sinner at the Monte Carlo Country Club. This is not only friendly fire, it is deliberate. Being match-ready in a condensed amount of time calls for Sinner's concentration, confidence, and familiarity. He needs all the time he requires to be ready for Roland Garros. Sinner understands that Carlos Alcaraz only lifted the Monte Carlo trophy. Moreover, the Spaniard is the defending champion at this year's Roland Garros and beat the Italian in last year's semi-final. Moreover, the world number 1 lost to his great rival on all the occasions they played last year despite his absence from 3 Masters 1000 events. Jannik Sinner remains at the top of the standings, which is astonishing. Alcaraz and Zverev failed to close his lead either. Should he stumble on return, that will change fast, but it speaks volumes about his dominant first season that he is still the man to beat. Sinner's return will also be seen from another viewpoint. Even if the circumstances exonerated him of intentional wrongdoing, the doping scandal damaged his clean-cut reputation. Before an Italian audience yearning for direction and triumph, the Rome Masters will provide him his first chance to answer that. He didn't play in the tournament last year due to a recurring hip injury. Jannik Sinner is taking back some lost ground and getting back to tennis. Every step he has taken since April 13, from rigorous training circumstances to deliberate practice with respected peers, has clearly shown one thing: intent. His official return will be at the Rome Masters, but the kind of discipline that underlay his career is already being put in. The Italian knows comebacks do not come from quiet. He returns to the scene to compete, showing that he has never really left.